Hi, Steve Landau here with my co-host Julie Stark from Embrace Tucson, Embrace Your Inner Athlete. Today we are joined by Steve Sheldon and Tom Murray. I'm going to introduce both of you, and then we'll ask you a few questions about your life in this new abnormal time.
Cool.
Steve is a software engineer, husband, and father to two daughters. Steve has been running on and off his whole life, but has been more consistent over the past 20 years, gradually transitioning from a lone wolf runner to an active member of our Tucson running community. And yes, he is very, very active, both as a volunteer. We
I
appreciate
love our community.
Yes, we love having you here, my friend. Steve has run about 250 races in the last 15 years, ranging in distance from 1 mile to 50 miles.
Mm-hmm.
His favorite distance being in the 10-mile to half marathon range. Trails are number one to Steve, and I'm with you on that. So two Steves for trail running.
There you go.
Tom can be found in his amazing look out at every race. He's got those colorful glasses on, a real icon in our running community.
Right.
Tom began running at the age of 41 just 3 short years ago and has already completed 100 running events from 5Ks to 100Ks. That's 61 miles is 100K. He is the Director for Professional Development for the Student Success and Retention Unit at the U of A. And Tom is also a certified personal trainer and a 2020 Ultra Aspire Immortal team member. So guys, thank you for being here with us today. I'm going to let Julie ask you a question, and then I'm going to ask a question, and we'll go from there.
Sure.
Hi, gentlemen. Let's start with you, Steve. How would you say this new abnormal has affected your running abilities?
So obviously, you want to be more careful about running with your friends. Like, I have normal groups that I run with, like on Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, and I used to love to give them hugs or high fives or whatever, but now we keep a safe distance. We're running with our buffs over our mouths so that we don't spread the germs. And we're trying to be as close to normal as possible, but still being smart about it, like treating this virus with the respect that it deserves. But that said, I'm still trying to keep my rhythm, my normal patterns, because I don't want this whole thing to like knock my whole life out of kilter, right? Running is one of the centers of my life. And so I want to keep that we run to burn off the crazy, right? I think that's common to all of us runners. So we don't want to go crazy, we keep running.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Tom?
So this all kind of started happening right as I was coming off of the Black Canyon 100K. So
right.
It was a good time to have some recovery.
Great job on that, by the way.
Thank you. I've gotten back into, I'm running 5 days a week. I think the biggest change for me is that I'm really just staying close to home. My wife is actually a social worker at a dialysis clinic, and so she's working with the public every day. And so I'm trying to really be as isolated as possible because I don't know what she might be bringing home and what I might be carrying. And so there's a half-mile park loop around, like right by my house, and I just run in circles. But it's keeping me moving, and then I do my strength training at home. And so I really try to maintain as much rhythm and normality as possible with all of my running.
How are you both, start with Steve on this one, and then Tom, you answer this. How are you both coping in your, if you don't mind sharing, in your personal lives and in your running lives?
It's interesting for me. I'm one of the lucky few where this transition actually isn't that big of a deal for me. Since I'm a computer programmer, I'm on a computer all day anyway, and I basically remote into work from home. The only thing that's different is I don't have my 40-minute commute on the end of each day, on each end of the day. The thing that I actually am finding a little bit irritating is now to see my friends in the evening, I actually go on Zoom like this. So now my evenings are also on the computer. And so I actually end up experiencing a lot more computer fatigue now, which is kind of unusual, but yeah. So I'm kind of lucky insofar as my life really hasn't changed all that much. I mean, my whole family is here now. We're all battening the hatches. My wife is a teacher, so she's working from home now. My youngest daughter is a student at the U of A, and so they're all online. So we're all like in individual rooms and together as a family. But other than that, it really hasn't changed all that much.
Okay. How about you, Tom?
Work has changed because I'm on Zoom constantly, but I'm able to do my work from home for the most part. Running really hasn't changed. I usually run by myself just because of scheduling. I run in like stupid o'clock in the morning, and so I'm used to running alone, and so that has been an easier transition. I really miss people. I think I've been to the store 3 times in like 5 weeks, and that's been my only like face-to-face interaction with people. So I would like some actual face time with folks.
Me too. Are you guys running with Steve? You said you're running with Buff, but Tom, are you running with a mask or anything like that as you go by?
I do like a double layer buff over my face.
I would suggest that to all people out there. When I'm running, I have mine on. I do drop it a little bit when I'm on my own, but when I see a person at least 50 yards away, I put it up, and I'm doing it to protect them,
right?
As well as myself, because we're huffing and puffing.
Right. So it's a lot more than 6 feet when you're breathing that hard and you're moving.
Yeah,
sure,
absolutely. I think it makes good common sense.
Plus, I mean, if you're running single file, like it's not a 6 feet thing because of the stuff hangs in the air, right? So if someone's behind you, it's got to be at least like probably 20 feet. And so when we run single file with my friends, generally we try and keep that sort of spacing. If we're like side by side, we don't need to go like 20 feet, but 6 feet's usually okay. But single file, we definitely keep the spacing out.
And do you keep your buff up when you're running with them next to them?
Yes. And it's harder for me because with the asthma, I already have breathing issues, and running with the buff actually makes it pretty difficult. So in that respect, I actually kind of prefer running alone because like you, I'll run with the buff down, but if I see someone approaching, that's when it goes up.
I don't know about you guys, but when I run, Julie, maybe you could talk about this. When I run with a mask on, I have the hospital mask and I have other masks, but it pinches to your nose and it's crazy.
Right?
Can't breathe.
It fogs up my glasses. That's my biggest thing. And Steve was telling me I need one with a wire so it pinches, but other than that, yeah. I mean, for the last couple of weeks, have run 100% alone. I go out there, I'm on the path, but I have found there's a dirt section when they were widening Tangerine Road that is still there. So I don't have to go on the path. I literally am I'm probably 2 car lanes away from anybody all the way down to La Cañada. And then once I hit the path down there, if I see somebody coming, I actually go out in the street. I don't even want to be, even with a mask on, I don't want to be around anybody. I don't know what I have. I don't know what they have. So I find that it's best for me if I can put at least a car lane between us. That is what makes me feel comfortable. But anymore, I'm picking times a day that I can run, or I'm trying to find a trail, and I just don't even want to be where anybody else is.
Right.
And I miss it because I am a very people person. That's why I love the racing scene so much. I love watching people and being with people and experience the human interaction, and it is so hard. So for you guys, do you each individually have like a piece of advice that you want to give to Tucson runners to keep them active and motivated and to possibly not get too down in this situation?
Tom, do you want to start?
Sure. I've actually been thinking about this because I did watch the first episode that you aired, and I thought that you might ask this. There is a movie. I love this movie. It's called Life in a Day by Billy Yang, and it documents 4 women as they attempt the 2016 Western States Endurance Run. And Devin Yanko says this thing in that movie that I have said to myself at least once a day during her bio, which said that racing doesn't truly matter it's a novelty when you consider how powerful running is on its own. And I live with those words right now because I have to remind myself why I started running in the first place. And I love races, but I started running because I love how powerful it makes me feel. And so that's the advice I would give is like, get back to why you started, because the races will be there when we come out the other side.
Yeah. So,
That's
Steve?
good advice. I like that.
Right. So I'm actually going to go back to kind of something I said earlier, which is for me, it's a matter of keeping my life consistent, right? I mean, things are so crazy right now that if I just stick with the schedule that I had before all this started happening, I keep running with my Tuesday friends, my Wednesday friends, my Thursday friends, keep running long on the weekends. As long as I keep that schedule going, it adds a sense of normalcy and it helps keep me calm. And for me, a lot of people talk about a runner's high. I usually don't get a runner's high except for maybe the last 50 yards of a race. But the rest of the time, for me, it's more like a runner's calm. So like I get a clarity of thought when my body has a certain level of exhaustion associated with it. So that's one of the things that running consistently helps me burn off the crazy, helps me have clarity of focus. So my recommendation is don't let this throw you off your tracks. Just keep running, keep moving forward, have a plan, stick to it, and try and find someone to help keep you accountable. I mean, that's good running advice under any circumstances, but just try and stick to a schedule and just keep making progress, keep getting stronger every day.
Well, thank you both very much. That is fantastic advice that we all can live by, definitely. And
Well, thank you guys for doing this.
Yeah, and always remember, you're outside. It's a beautiful, we live in a beautiful place.
Right. This is the best time of year too, right?
So Tom, that goes back to what you're saying. Look around you. It's
Yeah.
amazing outside. So
Absolutely.
thank you, gentlemen. We really appreciate you being with us. Look for our other shows, watch them, share them with your friends, and embrace Tucson, embrace your inner athlete.
Well, yeah, thanks for having me.
Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.